Welcome. In this video, we are going to look at adding and subtracting polynomials. So when we're adding and subtracting polynomials, we've already done this before. We just haven't defined them as polynomials, but we want to make sure that we remember that you can only add or subtract like terms. So like terms means that they have exactly the same variable part. So if you have a coefficient that's completely different, that's totally fine. We just need the variable part to be exactly the same. So we can only add x squareds to x squareds. We can add xy's to other xy's. Think about the coefficient tells you how many you have of that thing, and the variable tells you kind of what is that thing. So when you have like terms, you're going to add or subtract the coefficient. So let's just look through here and see, do I have any like terms? Okay, so these are y squareds. I have 12y squareds. And here's some y squareds, 9y squareds. I have 17y and negative 13y. Make sure you bring that negative with it. And what else do we have? We have negative 4, which is a constant. Constants are like terms with any other constant, and 3. So once we've identified our like terms, we're just going to combine them by adding or subtracting the coefficient. So I have 12 of these y squareds. I'm adding 9 more. So we have 21 of those things called y squared. Okay, I have 17y, and I'm adding negative 13 or subtracting 13. So we're going to end up with 4y. And then negative 4 plus 3 is just minus 1. Okay, once we've put our like terms together, we want to make sure we write our answer in standard form. I just started that way, but if you didn't, just make sure that you go highest to lowest degree so that we're all kind of speaking the same language there. Okay, oftentimes we get a little confused when we have these parentheses here. Really, these parentheses are just grouping these together to say, I'm taking this trinomial and adding it to this trinomial. But once we've identified that we're doing that adding, this is exactly the same as just saying 2x cubed plus 7x squared plus x plus 2x squared minus 4x minus 12. All right, all of those parentheses are doing is emphasizing that we're taking one trinomial and we're adding another trinomial. But once we've identified that, we can drop those parentheses and just go back to identifying our like terms. So here I have some x cubes. No more x cubes. Okay, I have 7x squared and 2x squared. I have an x, if it helps you, write in your coefficient there that of 1 and negative 4x. And then I have this lonely little constant, negative 12. Okay, but we're still just adding and subtracting our like terms. So we're going to put 2x cubed is the only x cubed I have. 7 and 2 is 9x squareds. 1 minus 4 is negative 3x. And then minus 12. Again, check to make sure, is it in standard form? If it is, you're good. All right, this is a cubic polynomial. We have 4 terms there, and that's all we've got. Okay, again, adding, these parentheses aren't really doing a lot because we're adding, so just identify your like terms. I have negative 3m squared, 4m squared. I have m cubed and 6m. So we're just going to add together the things that we can. So I have negative 3m squared, 4m squared, so negative 4, I end up with 1m squared or m squared. Just rewrite it in standard form. Okay, and we have this nice cubic trinomial with degree of 3 and 3 terms. Subtraction, we have to be a little bit more careful because if we have parentheses, those parentheses are actually doing something. We're subtracting this whole thing, which means we need to change the signs of these things. So our first thing is going to stay exactly the same. So this trinomial here is stay the same. Then we're going to distribute that to all of those things, right? This is really a negative 1 out front here. So I'll have minus a squared plus 3a minus 7. So before you drop those parentheses on subtraction, make sure you distribute that negative to everything involved. Okay, identify your like terms, 3a squared. Oh, that's not the same. A squared. I'll do this in purple. So 3a, 2a, -2, -7. So we're just identifying what are all our like terms there and then combining them. 3a squared minus 1a squared, we get 2a squared. 2a plus 3a is 5a, and -2 minus 7 is -9. So we end up with that cubic trinomial already in standard form there. Hey, this guy here, we have multiple negatives, so make sure you think of this as -1 and distribute that before you simplify by combining your like terms. So -3 minus 4z minus 6z squared plus 2. Okay, we have -6z squared, -4z, -3, +2. Okay, so the only thing we can combine are those constants there. So I'm just going to put it in standard form as I go here, highest to lowest degree. -3 plus 2 is -1. And then we end up with that quadratic trinomial. Okay, last but not least here, nothing to do about this first one. We need to distribute this -1 before we combine. 6x cubed minus 4x squared plus x minus 9 minus 3x squared minus 7x minus 3. Okay, we have -4x squared, -3x squared, x, -7x. If it helps you put a little 1 there, it's 1x. We have some constants there that are the same too, -9, -3. So then we're combining our like terms. We get 6x cubed, -4x squared minus 3x squared is -7x squared. 1 minus 7 is -6x. -9 minus 3 is -12. So we end up with that cubic polynomial there once we have distributed that negative and combined our like terms. That is all I have for you this video. Thanks so much for watching.